It was a somber Sunday in Israel as it marked Memorial Day for its fallen soldiers and victims of terror. Across the border, displaced Palestinians heeded evacuation orders ahead of Israel's planned expansion of its military operations against Hamas in Rafah, the southern city in Gaza. What is happening on the other side of the world is also strongly resonating on the campaign trail in the United States. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump brought up the Israel-Hamas war when addressing a crowd of almost 100,000 of his supporters Saturday in Wildwood, New Jersey.
There would have been no war in Gaza with me in the White House. When I was president, we had peace in the Middle East like never before.
Trump and other Republicans have strongly decried the Biden administration's recent decision to pause certain bomb shipments to Israel in the context of unfolding events in Rafah. Republican Senator Lindsey Graham framed his criticism Sunday in the context of World War II.
So when we were faced with destruction as a nation after Pearl Harbor, fighting the Germans and the Japanese, we decided to end the war by bombing Hiroshima and Nagasaki with nuclear weapons. That was the right decision. Give Israel the bombs they need to end the war they can't afford to lose and work with them to minimize casualties.
But even as some weapons shipments have been paused, a recent State Department report to Congress failed to conclude that Israel has violated U.S. and international law when using military assistance during its war against Hamas. Secretary of State Antony Blinken was asked on NBC whether the U.S. is avoiding holding its ally accountable.
No, we don't have double standards. We treat Israel, one of our closest allies and partners, just as we would treat any other country. And when we can reach definitive conclusions, we will. But it's very difficult to do that in the midst of a war.
Progressive Independent Senator Bernie Sanders, who aligns with Democratic opposition to Israel's conduct of the war, told NBC that in his view, Israel should not be receiving another nickel in U.S. military aid.
35,000 Palestinians dead and 77,000 wounded, two-thirds of whom are women and children. That is not the way you conduct a war in a civilized society to the degree that war is civilized.
It is expected that Joe Biden, who has so far been able to strike a balance between his re-election bid and his official duties as president, will face new challenges this coming week by congressional Republicans over the pause of some military transfers to Israel. Donald Trump, meanwhile, will return to the courtroom on Monday and face his former fixer, Michael Cohen, as Cohen testifies in Trump's New York hush money trial. Veronica Balderas Iglesias, VOA News, Washington.